In this unsettling tale, I take you through a terrifying journey with a cursed videotape that defies all logic and brings nightmares into reality. Join me as I recount how a seemingly innocuous VHS tape turned my world upside down, revealing horrors beyond comprehension. This is not just a story, it's a chilling recount of my personal experience with a tape that has haunted my life in ways I could never have. The day began like any other. While cleaning out an old storage unit inherited from a distant relative, I stumbled across a dusty VHS tape. Its label, barely legible, read, "The Final Broadcast." Curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to play it on an old VCR I kept as a relic from the past. As I inserted the tape and pressed play, the screen flickered to life. The initial footage was montage shots of a suburban neighborhood, people going about their daily routines. However, as the video progressed, the scenes began to distort. The once familiar setting became ominous as dark figures started to appear, and unsettling events unfolded. At first, I thought the tape was just an old, poorly made horror film, but as the scenes grew increasingly disturbing, I felt an unsettling chill creep over me. Shadows seemed to shift on their own, and an inexplicable sense of dread began to engulf my home. I chalked it up to overactive imagination, but the unease lingered, becoming an annoying presence in my life. That night, strange occurrences began. Objects in my house moved without explanation. Keys vanished, only to reappear in odd places. The quiet hum of the refrigerator was interrupted by eerie creaks and whispers. Despite my best efforts to ignore it, the feeling of being watched was ever present. Determined to understand what was happening, I began to investigate the origins of the tape. My search led me to an old film collector, a man who had heard whispers about the tape's dark reputation. According to him, the tape was cursed, its content designed to invade the viewer's reality and manifest their darkest fears. Despite my skepticism, I couldn't shake the sense of impending doom. The more I watched the tape, the more my own life seemed to mirror its horrifying scenes. My once safe home became a place of terror, with shadows creeping in the corners of my vision and whispers growing louder. The line between the tape and reality blurred, turning my everyday life into a twisted nightmare. Seeking help, I consulted paranormal experts and spiritualists. Their attempts to cleanse the tape in my home only seemed to make things worse. The disturbances intensified, affecting everyone who came into contact with the tape. Friends who watched it reported experiencing their own personal horrors, each one echoing the scenes from the tape in disturbing ways. The sense of urgency grew as I realized that the tape's influence was spreading. Each viewer became a new victim, their lives disrupted by the same terrifying force. My desperation to end the nightmare led me to dig deeper into the tape's origins. Through my research, I discovered that the tape was cursed by a vengeful spirit, seeking retribution for an ancient wrong. The spirit had been wronged long ago, and used the tape to perpetuate a cycle of fear and suffering. The more I uncovered about the curse, the more I understood the gravity of the situation. Breaking the cycle would require addressing the original injustice that had bound the spirit to the tape. Determined to put an end to the horror, I performed a ritual to communicate with the spirit. Armed with knowledge from old texts and advice from occult experts, I prepared for a confrontation in the very room where I had first watched the tape. The ritual began at midnight, under the oppressive weight of a cold, thick atmosphere. As I chanted the incantations, the room grew icy, and shadows coalesced into a dark, swirling form. The spirit's voice, a chilling echo of countless tormented souls, spoke of its suffering and the curse that had wrought. It demanded justice for the wrongs done to it, revealing that the curse would persist until its grievances were addressed. In a final, desperate attempt to break the curse, I dedicated myself to righting the wrongs of the past. My research led me to uncover the tragic story behind the spirit's torment and ancient betrayal that had left the spirit bound to the tape. I conducted a final ritual to honor the spirit and seek forgiveness for the injustice that had led to its suffering. As the ritual concluded, the oppressive atmosphere began to lift. The shadows that had haunted me dissipated, and the malevolent presence that had plagued my home faded. The tape, once a conduit for the spirit's wrath, was now just an old piece of technology, devoid of its former power. With the curse lifted, I destroyed the tape, ensuring that it could never bring harm to anyone else. The haunting experiences ceased, and my home slowly returned to a place of comfort and safety. However, the memory of the cursed tape lingered, a reminder of how thin the boundary between reality and horror can be. Reflecting on my ordeal, I am left with a profound sense of relief, mixed with an enduring unease. The cursed tape had irrevocably changed me, and its dark legacy remains a part of my life. Though the immediate threat is gone, the experience serves as a chilling reminder of the fragility of our reality when faced with the unknown. Sometimes, the most terrifying stories are those that become ultra-real, blurring the lines between fiction and reality in ways we can scarcely comprehend.